Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss soul number 4 with the Pythagorean numerology. So the soul number of 4 is it's a quite basic one, just due to the sense that the 4s are very practical people and very dependable. I mean, we've done numerous videos on the 4s before, so this is going to be very, very easy. Soul number 4, I'm not going to go into 13 or 22 during the video. So what I want to talk about is specifically the number 4 as a symbolism and as it plays a role in your soul number. So as I discussed in other videos, the soul number is the foundation of who you are, your inner desires, the reason you do what you do each day. Your expression number is like your gun, your weapon, your natural skills, and the natural shortcomings that you may have. And the life path number is just the path of life that you're on. So when you have a soul number of 4, what we're looking at here is a number that's going to provide you have an inner need to be dependable, you have an inner need to be stable and have a lot of security. Very good thing, and also it could be a bad thing depending on what your life path entails. If your life path matches your soul number, then great. But if it doesn't, and you have something like a 5, then you might be in for a bit of a ride. So what I mean by that is this: if you have an inner need for stability and security all the time, you're not going to end up taking the necessary risk to master certain life paths, unless you have a 4 as well, or maybe like a 7 life path or a 9, where those are kind of stable life paths that do demand challenge, but they demand you to be very conscious of your security anyways. So with the soul number of 4, what I would say is this: you guys are definitely security driven, you guys are very hard workers, you guys are definitely not the cog in a machine in a company, you guys would be the people that are like employee of the month. Among your family and friends, you guys have good relationships, everybody knows you as a hardworking and tedious type of person, very disciplined. These are not things that you'd have to learn. You're naturally going to want to have them subconsciously, and if you don't have them, you'll feel guilty for it. So with the 4, it's like if you think of a square, it's even all 4 sides. It's like the base of a pyramid would be like a square. So when you look at it from that perspective, like without the 4, the 3 couldn't really thrive. Like with a pyramid scheme, like when you have like a pyramid just in Egyptian times, the 4 is what really keeps every building structured. It's the 4 corners of the earth. The compass has 4 sides. Every foundation has 4 sides, typically. When you look at it from that perspective, you start realizing that for a stable foundation, you need 4. In a measurement, you need 4. And 3 is creative, and 3 spirals up and does a lot of creative things, but 4 is what really grounds reality. It's a really grounding number. So when it's a soul number, you're the person that will ground other people. And sometimes they may take that bad because they'll think that you're trying to discourage them. And other times they're going to take that very well because they understand that you're the one that's going to bring their vision into reality. You can manifest it. So what you want to do if you have a soul number 4 is look into careers such as like accounting, human resources, business, bookkeeping, anything to do with organizational work. Entrepreneurship could be for you as well, depending on what your life path and expression number are. I'm not going to definitely say that you should go into entrepreneurship. Certain numbers, I do say that if your soul number is that, then you have an inner need to do it. But with a 4, I'm not going to necessarily say that. It would really depend on what your life path would entail for you, especially. Because with 4, you guys demand such a level of security that you guys are perfect people for companies. You guys are the reason that our society runs. And there's nothing wrong with that. That simply means that you guys have an inner need for that stability, an inner need for orderliness and cleanliness. And that's really, really great. Most 4s that I meet, through the fact they have the planetary influence of Uranus, or if you look in the Eastern philosophy of Rahu, they end up having this sort of philosophical look on life that things need to be a certain way and law and order is what matters. That's great. What's not so great is when you guys don't accept the random. You guys don't accept, the randomness of our whole universe when you want to control everything. This is the dark part. 4 is also considered like the dark form of 1, the black sheep of 1, because 1 and 4 have a lot in common in the fact that 1 wants to be in control, but in a very bright, resonant way where they want other people to be in contact with their vision. But 4 will want people with their vision, but they want it in their exact way most of the time. And that's where you can get yourself into a fair amount of problems, just because you'll find that life doesn't always give you exactly what you want. You're going to have negative experiences, positive experiences. It's all just a dice roll. The sooner you guys accept that is the easier life is going to be. In relation with other numbers, I think you guys will have a very easy time in having good interpersonal relationships if you're able to accept others as they are, not trying to change them. Do not try to reform them. If you improve yourself and your own orderliness, your own need for discipline, then you're going to have a great life because you're going to be in a path of self-improvement that will then lead you to a lot more future happiness. On top of that, just on some final notes, I do believe soul number 4 is here in a bit of a karmic lesson as well. 4 gives you an inner sense of restriction. This is the last point I want to go over. And when you have that inner sense of restriction, you guys may feel that life always restrains you from getting what you want. Maybe you guys want to be free. Maybe you do want to go fly and travel the world, but you feel like your life circumstance didn't give you that. And your soul did this on purpose. It's a bit of a karmic number, no matter if it's a 13 or a 22. When it's in the position of the soul number, the soul itself feels restrained. In Eastern philosophy, they call this Maya, where you guys just hunt materialism and you cannot see past the illusion. You're restrained by that. In the Western philosophy, you guys are going to look at it from a perspective of maybe you had problems with your family, maybe teachers or your religion has you in a certain way where you feel like you cannot operate within a certain way or live a certain way that you want to live. And that can cause a lot of problems for you guys. So what you want to do essentially is understand your restrictions, and the way to understand them is to accept them. When you accept them, you see how illusory they are. You don't have restrictions. You have choices. You choose to follow this. You choose to follow that. You choose to think like this. You choose to think like that. You choose to word things like this. You choose to talk like this. It all really depends on what you choose to do. Your actions, the same thing. You got to understand it from that perspective that you can control everything about your life when you realize that your life is ultimately a choice. And this is the karmic lesson to the 4. You can be an entrepreneur if you want, if you choose to be. If you choose to let go of your security needs. You can also choose to work for a company and be the best employee the company's ever seen, if you choose to be. You guys have the energy to provide stability to your life depending on where you put that energy. So if you can at least just first focus on just controlling yourself and not those in situations around you, you're going to have a lot happier of a life. And in turn, you're going to see things manifest for you that were just in your mind, but they're going to kind of come to you more naturally. All right. So if you guys have any questions regarding the 4 at all, please let me know. I'm going to do the karmic number 13 and the master number 22 on 2 separate videos, just because with soul numbers, there's so much detail to go over with each of these, and they actually do differ in the sense of intensity that they come as a soul number and completely in definition as well. So thank you guys so much for listening today. Aside from that, guys, you can always email me at shem_roy@hotmail.com if you have any questions for me, or just get at me on Instagram. It's in the description. Aside from that, though, please, guys, like, subscribe, holla at me. That's it. Thank you.